Hi there. This is Ron Rogers, and I want to tell you about something I'm going to call oldies but goodies. Now, this was a suggestion by some of my viewers, and it was kind of comment about, I've been doing this for a while, year and a half, a little bit more, and I've got some old videos that were way back when I didn't have, many people watching and stuff like that. And people commented that they don't necessarily go looking for old videos. They like to sit down in the morning and have their cup of coffee and watch one of my videos. So I asked my advisor on YouTube about refreshing past videos that were, they're not time sensitive. They talk about, well, especially since the 727, for example, is gone. They're not time sensitive, but they talk about like Air Force pilot training in the past and just a lot of historical stuff, historical flight test stuff, which I know a number of you have probably seen, and flying for the airlines and stuff like that. So I asked them if it was a good idea, and they said, yeah, that's a great idea. And I've had, so I put it out to my advisory board, which I call my members because, there are paid memberships, and those are my most loyal fans, I guess you'd say. So I asked them what they thought of it, and I've got a couple interesting comments from one person who says, well, I've been watching you since you had 100 subscribers, and of course now I'm 18,000 something. And another guy said, well, I've been watching you since you had 1,000. And both of them said, we'd like to see those videos again. So you can run those things. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread out during the week. I'm going to throw in a couple oldies but goodies video. Now, this is going to be one of the first ones, Tales of the Three-Holer, because a lot of people talk about 27. What I'm going to do is put a little, you see it, other way, you see it down there in the corner, that oldies but goodies little patch there. That's going to signify that, you may have seen this before. So I don't want somebody saying, oh, I've seen this before, I don't like this. Okay, this is kind of your warning there. If you've seen it, you can just go, I don't want to have anything to do with that. So, and it's kind of interesting, some of the comments, people say, I watch your videos all the way to the end because sometimes you'll have funny digressions at the end. And at the end of this video, I've got something kind of important to say too. People will ask, why don't I do a video on? I'll have a video and they say, well, you should do a video on this. Well, I did. I did a video on that subject about a year ago or so, and they typically don't go back searching. So one of the functions will be to kind of bring these up so you can see them again, and you don't have to go back searching because, the number of videos that get posted on YouTube, it's just overwhelming, so a lot of these things can be buried and people don't sit there, I'm going to go back looking at videos. So this will be a way to keep them fresh. So kind of here's the plan. Like I said, I'm going to have it the bottom of a thumbnail so you know what's going on. And another one I had, that if I have a video that kind of references an older video, to put the little, reference right there on the video. What I've been doing is just kind of referencing playlists, but I did one on, one of my members asked me about, what tail draggers I had flown. I said the DC-3 and the Boeing 247, and then he remembered that I had talked about flying DC-3 number N7AP, which had been used for the over-the-horizon radar testing when I was chairman of the AE4R Radiated Environment Accuracy Panel, where we were setting the certification standards for fly-by-wire aircraft. So he says, oh yeah, I remember that now. So I went back and was interested in looking at that. And so there's another benefit I can do. This is kind of cool. I can offer these videos to the members, and that'll be at the commercial pilot level or above. I can offer these videos totally advertising free. Yeah. So you'll see under members only, you'll see the same video that's generally put out. But if you are at the commercial pilot level or above, all these videos are going to be free. So that's kind of a cool thing. And there's one other thing that YouTube does, and since I have these members, YouTube says they will send out free memberships, so many in a month or so to people who engage the most. And I guess engage is if you make comments and stuff like that. So for people who engage the most, you can get a free membership. I don't control that, but we had a little conference yesterday, and they said that they'd gotten a lot of suggestions that we can choose who our some of our most active members are, and send people who aren't members at the time most active subscribers, and send them a free membership. So they're looking at turning that on, but that hasn't come yet. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask here as a question is that I post these 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So anybody on the East Coast, they see them at 9. Um, you know, film at 11 sort of thing. But anyway, and I wondered, do I have a big East Coast contingent that might like them to be posted at 7? Because I can do that. But, I got California. Of course, if already posted, you don't care when you get up where it is. And that's kind of why, the number of watching people tends to grow. So that's kind of the derivation of all of this. I'm going to refresh some of these old ones, make sure they're still current. And of course, you can see a little bit of the building of my YouTube base, because a lot of the earlier ones, I hadn't started with the t-shirts yet. Somebody suggested, you need to make a t-shirt that says, "But I digress." And I thought they were joking, and a lot of people suggested it, and they weren't. And so I produced those shirts, and you can get them, down below. There's some tabs or something. And so you can find that down there. So anyway, that's kind of the whole setup. And, these are going to be oldies but goodies, which I kind of am now. I'm recording this. I'll post this a little bit later, but this is recording this on February the 27th, which is the 56th anniversary of when my wife and I first met. So it's kind of an important date. So I am definitely an oldie, but hopefully a goodie. Anyway, so hope you found that interesting, informative, and I hope you like watching some of the refreshed videos if you have not seen them the first time. So thanks for watching, and of course, give me your feedback on it. Feedback's always important, very important actually, and I get a lot of good suggestions on things to do, topics to work on. In fact, I have a huge stack here of things I'm working through. I thought I'd be out of ideas by now, but I just got a ton of stuff. It keeps growing. So I'm having a lot of fun here, and please engage and respond and tell me how you feel about everything. Thanks for watching.